Hello, all good with your life jackets, yeah?
Yeah.
Everybody got whistles on life? Yeah, you all okay with the buckles?
On the Titanic memorial cruise, they are taking no chances. Even before they left Southampton, a compulsory lifeboat drill for passengers. If safety had been more of a priority 100 years ago, there would have been many more survivors.
Well, this is a replica of the life jackets they had on board Titanic, and as you can see, it's basic to say the least. It's made of calico and filled just with cork. Compare this with the lighter, more buoyant, high visibility inflatable jackets that we use today.
On Titanic, of course, it was the shortage of lifeboats that was the main problem. But in fact, she had more than she was required to have by law at the time. As a result of the disaster, though, international regulations became much stricter. Claire Owens is returning to the wreck site this week. Her great-uncle died because there was no lifeboat available.
We have learned from the sinking of Titanic, and I would imagine a lot of lives have been saved since because of it, which means that the loss of my great-uncle perhaps has meant something and saved others from a similar fate.
Of course, this year has seen one of the worst cruise ship disasters in decades. 30 people died when the Costa Concordia capsized. But the industry insists, in general, it has an excellent safety record. In Belfast, the city where Titanic was built, they now create life rafts that are used all over the world.
The Titanic gave birth to the legislation that now drives this industry. Of course, the industry is always moving forward, learning from new examples. Unfortunately, recent disasters, and will be lessons learned, and they will be taken forward.
As for icebergs, well, 100 years on, there are now regular spotting patrols in the North Atlantic to warn ships of any dangers. So the question is, could something like the Titanic disaster happen here these days?
Short answer is no. The chances of it hitting the iceberg are much smaller. If it hit the iceberg, the damage would be far more confined. If the damage did occur, then the control of the damage would be far better. If the ship had to be evacuated, then the evacuation would be far more orderly, and other people and other ships would be available at hand to rescue.
From the radar picture, we can see everything about the water surface.
Back on board the Balmoral, the captain has radar, sonar and satellite communications to guide him to the spot where Titanic sank. Just imagine how different things could have been if they'd had them a century ago. Jon Kay, BBC News, on board the Balmoral.